Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the last Tuesday of second grade. Great news. It's absolutely beautiful today. Well, not this morning, but now it has. The weather's changed. It was rainy and a lot of puddles outside this morning, but now it's absolutely beautiful. Blue skies, big clouds. It looks amazing. So I'm happy to report. I think the nice weather is here to stay for at least a little bit. We'll see. You never know in Washington, right? All right. Also good news. I finally had enough time to print off the Penelope Peabody clue just in time to give you a new one today. All right, but I'll read it to you. This is what it says. Nearly all the license plates I see in this state have pictures of a peach on them. I must be in the peach state. I toured the World of Coca-Cola Museum this morning. The sugary soda pop was invented here way back in 1886. I'm lost in a southern state. Do you know which state I'm visiting? All right, so here's my map. If I look down here, you guys know what this is called. What is this? This is called a compass rose, and it tells us direction. You guys learned about cardinal direction last week. And you guys also know that these that don't have like north, south, east, or west, they also have, it would be like north, east, and northwest. You learned all that last week. So we know the state she is in is a southern state, so down, okay? So here is our map. She's in the peach state. She's in the Coca-Cola state, which is also a southern state. So she is in Georgia. This guy right here, Georgia, this gray state right here. That is Georgia. Georgia is known for their peaches. It's the peach state. And also, didn't know Coca-Cola was invented there. So, there you go. Little food for thought for you. All right, that leaves me. Oh, before I tell you, I need to tell you who got it correct. The people who got that clue correct are my mom, Adelaide, Raven, Bennett, Lucas, Weston. And I have Lucas's name on there twice. So Lucas, you got it twice, I guess. All right. So we are officially to our last clue. This is not the last clue ever. This clue, though, is number 27. And we know that there's 50 states in the United States. So we did not have a chance to go to all 50 states. Only 27. So over half, barely. But over half Penelope has visited. So here is the last clue for second grade. From Penelope, who, just for Bennett's sake, has her special mask on. It's hard to tell, but I use like this special silvery pen on it. I was using that to write your guys' names on your special Oscars, but it just kind of looks gray on here. All right, here it is, guys. Drum roll. Here we go. I stopped in the hardware store and asked the man at the counter for a yellow hammer. He said he only had black hammers in stock. You'd think every hardware store in the Yellowhammer state would have lots of yellow hammers, but I guess not. Have you ever dreamed of being an astronaut? I have. That's why I signed up for the U.S. Space Camp in Huntsville. They have a rocket simulator that made me feel like I was really in outer space. Now I'm headed off to one of the country's most famous racetracks, Talladega Speedway. Super Speedway. Maybe they'll let me race my red convertible on the track. I know I could beat all those NASCAR drivers if I can only find my way to there. Do you see which state I'm visiting? Do you know which state I'm visiting? All right. That's a long clue. We know that she is in the Yellowhammer state. I'll explain what that means on Friday. She also is where they have Space Camp, and the Talladega Super Speedway is also located in this state. Wow, that is a tricky clue. Let's see who can figure it out. And I will announce names, and on Friday I will tell you the last state that Penelope Peabody is visiting. All right. We're cruising through the one and only Bob. We are on chapter called Enough. After a while, I stopped going to the highway, stopped looking. It was a relief to give up. I had enough to worry about. I think I read that yesterday. My paddles. As I run from the park, I keep hearing my sister's yelp in my head. Still, with every step, my doubts grow. Sometimes we hear what we want to hear. The animal shelter is close, just down the street, but there's nothing quick about the trip. Water rushes past like a raging river. The sun's been swallowed by black clouds. I pick my way through muddy front yards, avoiding the worst of the water. I'm not much of a swimmer. It doesn't come up much in my line of work, though I do a pretty good dog paddle. The problem is my paddles. My paws are tiny, not much to work with when you're fighting a flood. I see a couple humans with flashlights carving tunnels in the rain, but mostly the street seems eerily abandoned, especially after the chaos of the park. The shelter is at the bottom of the slight hill. Rain's pooled outside the front door despite a pile of sandbags. A police car is out front, parked at an odd angle. I find some footing on a large rock near the door. It takes me 3 slippery tries, but I manage to leap onto the topmost sandbag. I bark with all I've got. But I might as well be voiceless, because the wind and the rain and the howling animals begging for escape. The next one's called Inside. I pause to listen. I hear humans shouting, and I can make out what sounds like police radio chatter, but I don't hear boss. I'm right here, right at the source. Nothing. It wasn't her bark I heard. She's dead, and I'm crazy, and hearing things, and drenched, and shivering. And where is Julia? Where is George? Hey, little guy. The door eases open just a crack. Every bone in my body, every smart part of my doggy brain says, run. This is an animal shelter. A flooding one, apparently. My sister isn't here, and I still have to find George and Julia. The door moves. Swoop. The loop comes around my neck so fast that for a moment I don't know what it is. It's like a cowboy's lasso, and the kind in old Western movies I used to watch with Ivan. But this lasso is at the end of a long metal handle, and at the end of the long metal handle is a man. Stay calm, buddy. The man eases me, gently but firmly, off the sandbags and through the door. I'm inside the Bow Wow big house. The hound pound. The pet pokey. Oops. The next one is called The Return of Snickers. The man pulls me along with his lasso. I decided not to argue. We enter a small room stacked with animal-filled metal cages, and I'm assaulted by howls and hisses. The cold water on the floor sloshes as we walk, just skimming my belly. As bad as my smeller is, I instantly pick up one distinctive odor. It's like the world's worst perfume, the kind the old ladies emit, the kind people spray on their dogs to camouflage their lovely dog stink, the kind Snickers wears. I catch a glimpse of her in the upper cage, bedraggled, bow in her hair. Snick, baby, fancy meeting you here, I say. You look good behind bars. Harebrain, she replies. Hey, calls a rabbit 2 cages down. Watch your language. Mac couldn't deal with you, I asked Snickers. He brought me here because he thought it would be safer. Seems he may have made a mistake, I say. Carefully grabbing my scruff, Cowboy lifts me into the upper cage. He pulls the lasso loose and shuts the barred door. I'm not happy, but it's a relief to be out of my noose. Oh, great, another one? Calls a woman wearing tall rubber boots. She pauses in the doorway. I thought we were turning people away. People, yes, said Cowboy, but this pup comes solo. Tick-tock, folks, says an older, ruddy-faced officer. He's holding a radio in one hand and a flashlight in the other. You are running out of time. We hear ya, but first we've got to move everybody who's lower level. Boots sighs. Last hurricane we had 2 feet to deal with. I swear they're getting worse. Climate change, says the officer. What are we going to do? More than we're doing, says Boots. That much is for sure. I'll move the dogs from room 2, Cowboy offers. There are only a couple at the bottom level. We're out of cages, though. We'll have to double up. Put that little female in with the new guy, says Boots. They look like twins. I'm shivering, and it's not because I'm cold. I press my hurt nose to the metal bars. I smell something. I do. I hear something. I do. Cowboy returns, dog in arms. A bark. That bark. The door to my cage opens. Hey, I say automatically, even as my heart is already whispering the truth to me. They call me Bob. They call me Boss, says the voice. But by now I know. Of course I know. And I'm howling with joy. Ah! He found his sister. They're right there. So they put those two together because they look like twins. This one is called Alive. Thunder claps. Shutters fly, windows rattle, water rushes, dogs whisper, cats howl, people yell, and all I can hear is my sister's voice. You guys think he's excited, huh? This one's called Catching Up. We lick each other, sniff, yelp, circle, wrestle. Neither of us was ever the touchy-feely sort, but sometimes you just gotta let it all out. Wow, says Cowboy Cat watching us. You think they knew each other. This one's called Tough. Boss isn't anything like I remember. She's scrawny and flea-covered. Her left ear has a big notch in it. Her fur is dull, her body scarred, her tail cut short. I'm afraid to ask how that happened. She's clearly had it tough, really tough. I thought I heard your bark, I say, and then it stopped. Figured I was crazy. I was napping. In this chaos, I ask? I can sleep anywhere. It's a gift. Boss nibbles on a toenail. Funny thing is, I was having a dream about you. Must have caught a whiff of you in my sleep. I can't stop staring. Boss, here with me. What? She asks when she catches me looking at her. I was just wondering, I say, about your life. Do you have, anybody? You mean like humans? Nope. She gives a little flick of her stubby tail. Never have, never will. You've been on your own this whole time? I flash on my cushy bed, my lovely food bowl, the way everyone knows just how I like my ears scratched. Yep. How'd you end up here? I was out scrounging for food, just like another litter, and I was tired, off my game, animal control got me. She licks a nasty cut on her front paw. Wait, my ears prick up. So, you have puppies? That would make me an uncle, a dog uncle, on top of being an honorary elephant uncle. Had the last batch 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. She scratches at a flea. Last batch, I repeat? You mean you've had others? Yep. What happened to them? Don't know. It's not like they come home for the holidays, Bob. Boss lies down on the old towel lining our cage. Or should I call you Rowdy? She considers. Nope. No. I like the sound of Bob. Me too. Anyway, Boss says, mostly they're dead, I guess. You never know, though. Maybe a few got rescued. So matter of fact. So this last litter, well, I thought I was onto something. Found this little car, those ones that look like the big old bug, abandoned, right down by the creek near the bridge. Easy access through a hole in the floorboard. Blanket in the back seat. She pauses. All the amenities. How many puppies, I ask. 3, but only one survived. A male.